David, there's a lot of questions here about the future of the exchanges now that we have spot ETFs on the market, the business model, the fees in transacting on exchanges for Bitcoin. Is there a negative impact in the future given we see so much trading in ETFs?
As far as impact on Kraken's business, this is undoubtedly a net positive for us. And there's, a few different areas where that comes out. So first off, our mission is to grow cryptocurrency adoption to achieve this end goal of financial freedom. And hey, the introduction of ETFs is another access point for individuals to come into the space. So frankly, this is in line with our mission in a positive. As it relates to our business specifically, so the first thing I'll mention is that we benefit directly from this. Kraken provides the indice for 6 of the 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs that were approved. So we directly benefit from this as these ETFs are our customers. And that's via one of a Kraken business by the name of CF Benchmarks. The second is we're just going to, it's yet another access point. It's an easier path for some to get into cryptocurrency, to get their first exposure to Bitcoin. That's going to grow the overall ecosystem. Exposure and awareness is going to grow, and these things grow the overall industry in total. Okay, sure, it's possible that some newer individuals to crypto may first go and buy an ETF as opposed to go into Kraken or Coinbase, some of our peers, but that's entirely fine. Kraken offers a plethora of different features and functionality, 200 plus tokens, and a number of different services that you can't just get from an ETF, namely the ability to actually hold Bitcoin and custody it yourself. So I think this is really a fantastic event in a net positive for Kraken in so many ways.
Well, just to dwell on this point a little longer, you think about the bear cases for crypto exchanges coming out of these spot Bitcoin ETFs finally launches, and the point has been made plenty of times that you think about these ETFs, some of them costing 20 basis points or below for an annual cost, and you compare that to the cost of trading on a Coinbase, on a Kraken, and there's a difference there. Do you plan to lower the cost of trading to compete with these?
Again, it's a great question. I think there's a couple of things. One, we view the offerings, the products different enough such that they're really not direct substitutes, if you will. And so, yes, there's a different price point for that product, but it's a different product. And so we don't have any plans to adjust fees or anything of the like due to this introduction. Like I said, I think we offer a plethora of different products and services that differ in a lot of ways from the ETF.
How do custody fees start to compare with trading fees? If you do see a compression, at least even initially, in trading volumes and people moving to ETFs, how do you build a business off of custody that is as robust? Will it be as robust as it was on the spot trading?
Yeah. Well, for Kraken specifically, we're actually set to launch our custody product this quarter. So this is, will be a big event for us, and something that, kind of brings a new and interesting custody product to the market. And so I do think that for a lot of customers, and again, the ETFs themselves being customers of exchange venues and custody providers like Kraken, there is often a synergy between the two. Right. And so there's clearly a convenience to be able to custody at the same place where you find liquidity. Of course, in some instances, businesses choose to use an alternate custody provider in addition, and or even custody themselves. And so I think there are those alternatives out there, but there's definitely a synergy between the two. And so I think usually when clients, customers of ours are looking at the offering, they kind of view it as a full package.
When it comes to the custodian business, how do you differentiate yourself? Because on the crypto native side, if you want to call it that, you have Coinbase, you have Gemini, and then you have on the TradFi side of the ledger, of course, you have Fidelity, et cetera. When it comes to custodian and attracting actual new business there, how do you plan to do it?
Well, I think there's probably two things. Kraken has a long long history in the industry, over a decade. And we built this company with security in mind and security first. One of our co-founders likes to refer to Kraken as a security company with an exchange built on top. And so this is something that is known extensively throughout the industry, that Kraken is one of the strongest when it comes to security. We have the features and functionality on that front to prove it. And so that's one of the top things that customers look for when they look for custody. So I think that's number one for us, and where we look for from a custody standpoint, and what we'll look to differentiate with. The other piece
how do you, right, David? I mean, there's custody, and then there's other businesses that you could potentially get into. How do you see yourself using a banking license and diversifying into financial services?
Yeah, so I think you're referring to the special purpose depository institution license that we have with the state of Wyoming, and it is a different and novel license that's out there that actually they've embedded into their law some very crypto specific parts of the law that govern this custody. Effectively, what happens during forks and various different events that are net positive for customers. And so we think that's going to be yet another benefit that we can bring to potential custody customers.